When Article 370 was abrogated on August 5, 2019, there was a fear about property sharks entering its real estate paradise. That fear is real now, and Kashmir is fast turning out to be a city of concrete urban jungle with massive living spaces but no life. Kashmir is today paying the price for building homes without fixing its core problems, most notably the local economy. Another ghost city in the making, and sadly, it is one of the most beautiful locations of India. It seems Kashmir is building faster than it's thinking. As housing projects rise, the people who might live in them are living. Without jobs, a home is just an empty shell. You are watching Track to Reality and I am Ravi Sinha. Today, I am looking for those social media warriors who were extra enthusiastic that they would marry a Kashmiri girl and buy a plot and a house over there. Where are you guys? Come, buy a property in Kashmir now. Where are you? Kashmir needs you. But then, these social media warriors only exist on social media and not in reality. In real world, most of them can't even afford a village plot in their own backyard. It is hence no surprise that a report by Kashmir Observer points out that on paper, Kashmir is developing, but in reality, it's emptying out. You don't have to go too far to see the change. Construction is everywhere. Residential towers are rising in the outskirts of Srinagar. Gated colonies are coming up outside Anantnag, and promotional hoardings promise smart homes in Baramulla. Developers from Delhi, Punjab, and even Dubai are buying up land and selling visions of modernity. But take a closer look. Many of these structures are finished or near getting finished, but are still unoccupied, and buildings look empty. Glass balconies reflect the sun but not life. Entire floors are dark. In many of these places, caretakers live alone in the buildings designed for families. The question is, where are the buyers? With most of the properties priced over rupees 1 crore, there are few takers, as local demand is in the range of 40 to 60 lakhs. The report card from the secondary market, that is often the real barometer to assess the resilience of property market in any given location, is offering properties at a discounted price up to 20-25% of the primary market. Obviously, the local economy can't absorb this construction pace. Traditionally, Kashmir property market was known to double in 15 to 20 years, but the new breed of developers entered the market expecting 15 to 20% growth annually, thereby doubling in every 4-5 years. And that was the beginning of property going out of the reach of the locals and expat Indians. Even though they were very much vocal with abrogation of Article 370 and promised to buy houses over there, they now prefer safety over buying properties in a region that has nothing more to offer than just scenic views. Kashmir property market is weathering its worst possible slowdown today. Unsold properties are piling up, and even developers forced to recalculate their cost and benefit, wondering whether they made a wrong bet and created too futuristic projects. How long will they have to wait to offload the housing stock? Many of these builders don't have deep pockets to sustain their inventory for long. Most of the developers privately admit that the mindless construction leading to real estate slump is not a temporary setback. It's a structural problem of Kashmir that they failed to understand. These structural problems are now affecting other sectors as well, including daily laborers, transportation, and suppliers of raw materials. Investors are yet not ready to come over here and stay, do businesses in the valley. In December 2021, the LG Manoj Sinha led administration held the maiden Jammu and Kashmir Investors Summit to provide an effective platform to investors to showcase their potential real estate investment opportunities in the region. That could only lead to construction boom and not absorption. According to government estimates, the projected indigenous housing demand in Jammu and Kashmir is 2.5 lakh dwelling units, out of which 30% is in urban areas. This construction boom in the valley is not a progress, it's a disconnect with reality and a disaster in making. The same disconnect that you find in many other host cities of India, or for that matter, in many cities of the world. What is missing is not infrastructure, it's people who are willing to buy these houses, live over there and do businesses over there. And what's pulling people away is what this so-called growth fails to provide: jobs for livelihood. Each year, thousands of Kashmir's most skilled and educated young people leave the region. They have no other choice. Otherwise, who would like to live a paradise on earth that is Kashmir? Engineers go to Bangalore. Nurses head to the Gulf. MBAs, designers, tech workers, teachers follow the trail of employment across India and beyond. They live not out of ambition but out of frustration and desperation to make a living. Back home, the job market offers little more than government exams, low-wage private work, and the promise of uncertainty all around the valley. So they leave, often reluctantly, often for their own good. And yet, builders in Kashmir, in their own fancy, continue to build homes. Oops, these are not homes, but just real estate blocks. This contradiction, empty houses in a place where so many want to stay but can't stay, is a signal there is something fundamentally wrong. Apartments are rising as if demand were also growing. In reality, the real estate supply is speculative, driven by investors betting on a future that may never come. Kashmir is still a name that is symbiotic with fear. These are not homes being built for families to live in. They are assets being traded, often by people who will never live there. When real estate outpaces reality, it becomes a bubble, and Kashmir is not immune to what happens when that bubble bursts. Prices crash, investors lose faith, and the local economy suffers even worse than what it is suffering today. But the deeper loss is cultural and emotional. Kashmir is at a risk of becoming a place of empty buildings and empty hopes, a place full of living spaces but not of lives. Is there any way to redirect this trajectory? If Kashmir is to hold on to its people, it needs more than buildings. It needs local, dignified and durable work that matches the aspirations of its youth. That's why the idea of shifting businesses here and making special economic zones, SEZs, is both relevant and urgent here. You first need to create spaces where real employment is offered and not houses where no one is willing to come and settle. If designed around Kashmir's strengths like handicrafts, horticulture, information technology, and food processing, they can create clusters of opportunity and give young people a reason to stay. But SEZs alone won't change the story unless they are part of a broader shift in thinking. Yes, thinking is far more critical here than just policy and planning. Kashmir needs an employment market that can breathe purpose into the houses already built. Houses are not products in isolation unless there is a thriving community to back it up. People don't choose where to live because of tiles or terraces or even for just the scenic views outside. They choose to live where life happens, where there is work, where there is a thriving community, and where the future feels promising and possible. The government has a central role to play here as a facilitator. It must align industrial growth with residential expansion, invest in infrastructure that supports livelihoods, and discourage speculative hoarding of property. The idea should not be just to facilitate the real estate sharks in the region, but the idea should be to attract businesses, ease approvals for businesses, ensuring power and internet-rich rural corners, and offering incentives for industries that employ local hands. First of all, there has to be a sense of peace and security. Gradually, the focus should shift beyond Srinagar and investing in smaller towns where talent is abundant but opportunities are rare. Kashmir cannot afford to become a land of commuters and remittances. Such a lopsided view of development has failed many tourist spots all across the world. It cannot afford to outsource its youth. Every time a son leaves to drive a cab in Dubai or a daughter boards a bus to Chandigarh with her nursing degree, Kashmir loses more than manpower. Kashmir loses its talent, its working hands, and most importantly, its identity. Ask any local Kashmiri. The problem might look just economic, but the real cost is emotional. Families here still dream of being together. Parents still hope their children will return and stay. Many of the young still long to live in the land they love, but dreams can't fill dinner tables. Sentiments alone does not pay bills. If the policymakers want people to build lives here, they must give them tools to do it, and jobs are the foundation. The housing boom will mean something only when the homes fill up. That will happen when people see a future here, not just a roof over the head, or in other words, a fancy and costly home with neck down debt to flaunt. Right now, builders in Kashmir are just building the living shells of concrete. There is no life in these buildings. Who will build the substance for life to breathe? It's time to think. I rest my case. Thanks for watching.